Mark Manson's Guide to Embracing Imperfection for Happiness. Imagine for a moment the world you live in today. It's a place where success and happiness are often equated with perfection, where striving for excellence is seen as the ultimate goal. But what if I told you that embracing imperfection could lead you to a deeper sense of happiness? This is the essence of Mark Manson's Guide, the subtle art of not giving a FCK. Let me tell you this, Mark's book offers a refreshing take on life, one that challenges us to accept our flaws and embrace the beauty of imperfection. Here's something you should know, though. The journey towards embracing imperfection isn't easy. It requires courage, self-awareness, and a willingness to let go of the unrealistic expectations we've set for ourselves. But here's the thing, it's worth it. Because when you embrace imperfection, you open yourself up to a world of unexpected joy and fulfillment. So let's dive into Mark's Guide and explore how embracing imperfection can lead to a more meaningful and happier life. The problem with perfectionism. You might be wondering, why do we hold onto the idea of perfection so tightly? The answer lies in our childhood, where we were taught that achieving perfection was the way to gain validation and approval from others. As we grow older, we carry these ideals into adulthood, believing that by being perfect, we'll find happiness and success. But the reality is, this isn't the case. In fact, perfectionism can be incredibly detrimental to our mental health. It leads to anxiety, depression, and a constant state of dissatisfaction with ourselves and our lives. Here's a personal anecdote that perfectly illustrates this point. When I was younger, I was deeply invested in my academic performance. I believed that getting straight A's would make me feel successful and valued. However, as I grew older, I realized that the pressure to maintain these grades had taken a toll on my well-being. My relationships suffered because I spent so much time studying instead of spending quality time with friends and family. Eventually, I had to acknowledge that my pursuit of perfection was causing more harm than good. This realization marked a turning point for me, leading me to embrace imperfection. Understanding imperfection. So how do we begin to understand and embrace imperfection? According to Mark, the first step is to recognize that perfection is an illusion. It's a concept created by society to control and manipulate us. We are constantly bombarded with images of people who appear to have it all together, but the truth is, they too struggle with their own imperfections. Here's something you should know. Perfection doesn't exist. We are all imperfect beings, and that's okay. Accepting this truth can be liberating. For instance, when I started practicing mindfulness, I noticed how much energy I used to expend trying to control every aspect of my life. By letting go of the need for perfection, I found peace within myself. It's a process, but it's worth the effort. Here's a personal example. One day, I decided to skip my morning run because I woke up feeling tired. Instead of berating myself for not being able to meet my usual standard, I reminded myself that perfection wasn't the goal. That day, I did something different and found that I felt more relaxed and centered. Embracing imperfection doesn't mean giving up on our goals. It means approaching them with a more compassionate mindset. The benefits of imperfection. But what exactly are the benefits of embracing imperfection? First and foremost, it leads to greater self-acceptance. When we stop chasing perfection, we become more comfortable with who we are. We learn to appreciate our unique qualities and flaws, which can enhance our overall happiness. Additionally, living a life of imperfection allows us to connect with others on a deeper level. We no longer feel the need to hide our imperfections, and we can be more authentic in our interactions. This, in turn, fosters stronger relationships and a sense of community. Here's a story to illustrate this. I once joined a fitness class and I knew I wanted to perform perfectly. But during the workout, I stumbled and fell. Initially, I felt embarrassed, but then I remembered that everyone else in the class had fallen at some point. The instructor even joked about it, and suddenly, I felt a lot better. From that moment on, I embraced the idea that mistakes are part of the learning process. This shift in mindset allowed me to enjoy the class more and made me feel more connected to the other participants. Moreover, living an imperfect life can lead to greater creativity and innovation. When we're not tied down by rigid rules and expectations, we allow ourselves to think outside the box. This freedom of thought can spark new ideas and solutions that might never have come to light otherwise. Here's a concrete example. When I started writing this video, I didn't have a clear plan. Instead of trying to force a perfect structure, I let my thoughts flow freely. The result was a more organic and engaging video, which I believe resonates better with viewers. Embracing imperfection opens up new possibilities and opportunities for growth. Overcoming obstacles. However, there are obstacles to embracing imperfection. One of the biggest hurdles is overcoming the fear of judgment. Many of us are afraid of what others might think of us if we aren't perfect. To overcome this, it's crucial to remind ourselves that we don't have to please everyone. We are entitled to our own imperfections, and it's okay to let others see the real us. Another challenge is letting go of the past. Sometimes we hold onto negative experiences and use them as reasons to doubt our ability to succeed. Mark suggests that we focus on the present and future rather than dwelling on the past. By doing so, we can move forward with a fresh perspective and a renewed sense of possibility. Finally, we must address the internal critic that tells us we're not good enough. This voice can be relentless and paralyzing. To combat it, we need to practice self-compassion. Instead of beating ourselves up over mistakes, we should treat ourselves with kindness and understanding. Remember, everyone makes mistakes. The key is to learn from them and move on. Here's a practical tip. Whenever you catch yourself criticizing yourself, pause and ask yourself, what would I say to a friend in this situation? Chances are, your inner critic is harsher than you'd ever be to a friend. Redirecting your thoughts in this way can help alleviate the negative self-talk. Lastly, remember that perfectionism is often a symptom of deeper issues, such as low self-esteem or insecurity. Addressing these underlying problems can greatly improve your ability to embrace imperfection. If you find that your imperfections are causing significant distress, it may be helpful to seek support from a therapist or counselor. They can provide guidance and strategies to help you navigate these challenges. Here's a real-life example. I struggled with imposter syndrome for years, believing that I wasn't good enough. Seeking professional help allowed me to identify and address the root causes of my insecurities. With therapy, I learned to reframe my thinking and developed a healthier relationship with my imperfections. Embracing imperfection isn't just about accepting our flaws, it's about building resilience and self-confidence. Cultivating a life of imperfection. Now let's talk about how to cultivate a life of imperfection. The first step is to redefine success. Instead of setting unattainable goals, focus on what truly matters to you. What brings you joy and fulfillment? Once you have a clearer picture of your priorities, you can align your actions accordingly. For instance, if you love photography but hate taking photos of yourself, consider focusing on capturing landscapes or nature instead. This way, you can still pursue your passion while avoiding the stress of meeting unrealistic standards. Next, surround yourself with positive influences. Seek out people who encourage you to be your best self, rather than those who push you towards perfection. Engage in activities that promote self-love and acceptance, such as meditation, reading, or creative pursuits. These practices can help you develop a more compassionate outlook on life. Here's a specific example. I used to dread attending networking events because I was worried about impressing others. After reading Mark's book, I decided to change my approach. Instead of trying to impress everyone, I focused on connecting with a few genuine connections. This shift in mindset led to more meaningful relationships and a greater sense of satisfaction. Furthermore, be mindful of your language and mindset. Instead of saying things like, "I'm not good enough," try reframing your thoughts. For example, you could say, "I'm working hard to improve." By changing your internal dialogue, you can foster a more positive and supportive environment for yourself. Lastly, practice gratitude. Focus on the aspects of your life that bring you happiness, no matter how small. This can help shift your focus away from imperfections and towards the positives. Here's a simple exercise you can try. Every night before bed, write down 3 things you're grateful for. Whether it's a beautiful sunset, a kind gesture from a friend, or simply having a roof over your head, focusing on the good can help counteract negative self-talk. Embracing imperfection is a journey, not a destination. It requires patience, persistence, and a willingness to learn from our experiences. But the rewards are immense. You'll experience a greater sense of peace, a deeper connection with others, and a more fulfilling life overall. Remember, the path to happiness is paved with imperfections, and that's okay. In conclusion, embracing imperfection is a revolutionary approach to life that can lead to profound personal growth and happiness. It challenges us to let go of the unrealistic expectations we've set for ourselves and accept our unique selves. By doing so, we open ourselves up to a world of unexpected joy and fulfillment. Mark Manson's guide offers